Arcadian Vanguard presents the Wrestling News in your daily wrestling newscast for Wednesday, November 15th, 2023. Good morning, I'm Mike Sempervive. We begin today with NXT broadcast live on USA Network last night from the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. In the opening match, Tony D'Angelo and Channing Stacks Lorenzo regained the NXT Tag Team Championship, defeating Andre Chase and Duke Hudson of Chase U.
Hudson just got isolated. And here comes bada bing, bada boom.
That's it.
Into the cover goes Stacks. And we got new champs.
Here are your winners and new NXT Tag Team Champions. The team of the Dawn of NXT, Tony D'Angelo and Channing Stacks Lorenzo.
The Bergen Hunt Fish Club is going nuts right now.
The win marks the second reign for the D'Angelo family and ends Chase U's run with the title at 22 days, making it the second shortest NXT Tag Team title reign of the last 5 years. In the main event, Baron Corbin pinned Wes Lee, thanks in part due to a distraction from NXT North American champion Dominic Mysterio. After the match, NXT champion Ilya Dragunov attacked Corbin in the ring, but Corbin laid him out with the end of days and held Dragunov's title belt up high to end the show. In Iron Survivor Challenge qualifying matches, Lash Legend defeated Roxanne Perez to qualify for the women's match, and Trick Williams pinned Joe Coffey to qualify for the men's match.
And are you seeing what I'm seeing? Are you seeing what I'm seeing, Vic?
I'm seeing right now. Looking for all the best for the belt. Jumping knee. Flash knee. Side of the face. Cover.
Wow. Yeah.
Trick is headed to deadline.
Here is your winner, Trick Williams.
Yeah.
Both Iron Survivor Challenge matches are scheduled to take place December 10th at NXT Deadline. In other results, Gigi Dolan defeated Ariana Grace, the Brawling Brutes beat Bronco Lima and Lucian Price, and Chad Gable issued a challenge to Noam Dar for Dar's Heritage Cup on next week's show. In All Elite Wrestling news, AEW Chief Legal Officer Mega Parikh is stepping away from her duties with the company, according to Fightful Select. While no official change in job title is being made, Parikh will reportedly be focusing less on AEW and more on another Khan family property, the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are currently working on a new stadium deal. Parikh's regular duties with AEW are expected to be picked up by AEW's general counsel, Chris Peck. It is not known if this is a temporary or permanent shift for Parikh. In ratings news, Monday night's episode of Raw drew 1.467 million viewers to USA Network, according to WrestleNomics. That's a slight drop from last week's audience of 1.522 million. The rating in the key 18 to 49-year-old demographic was 0.44, also down from last week's key demo rating of 0.47. Last Saturday night's episode of AEW Collision drew 396,000 viewers to TNT, according to WrestleNomics. That total is up 8% from the previous week's audience. The rating in the key 18 to 49-year-old demographic was 0.11, which is also up from the previous week's key demo rating. This week's episode of Collision is scheduled to be moved to a Friday nighttime slot, where it would run directly against SmackDown, marking the first time an AEW weekly program has run from beginning to end against a main roster WWE weekly program. And in injury news, Rey Mysterio has undergone successful surgery on his right knee, according to a social media post from Mysterio. Mysterio recently lost a United States title to Logan Paul at Crown Jewel and was attacked by Santos Escobar on last week's SmackDown as a way of writing him off television for the procedure. It was not made known when Mysterio might be able to return to the ring, but he teased getting payback on Escobar and continuing the angle when he had healed up. And before we leave you today, we'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the wrestling news 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The wrestling news can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast. And remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the wrestling news across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the wrestling news. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.